Good evening, and welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we come to you every Wednesday to inspire, to encourage, and to empower you to live a healthier lifestyle. And we do the purpose of this podcast is to provide knowledge and make people more aware of their everyday surroundings and things that affect them, both helping them lead a healthier lifestyle. And then, you always have, sometimes you have obstacles as well. But we try to look at the whole individual. And we try to look at that whole individually, socially, physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, as well as spiritually. Because all of those avenues or genres affect us in our everyday life. And so sometimes when one of those genres is out of whack, it causes the other ones to be a little off as well. And so this month, I'm Anna. Guess I better introduce myself. I'm Anna. I am an retired school teacher. I'm also an author. I am a certified cake instructor. I'm a health consultant, and I'm also a jury consultant. So I'm one of those individuals that kind of multitask. And then I am also the proud owner of Sweet Listine's Desserts for All occasion. And I'm the host of Sweet Blessings. And so since the beginning of this January, most time people set things. And so I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of what I've been doing. This month is going back and reflecting. We're working on personal development because personal development is very, very important. So this is July and it's the mid-year. And so this is the time where we want to go back and reflect on that. So I'm going to expound on that just a little bit more. But before I get into that, I'm going to just, I always have to do a little housekeeping because, sometimes I basically forget. So this, okay, I do go live during the week on my personal profile. And I was going live on Facebook and Instagram. And somehow or another, my Facebook account got hacked. So I lost all my contacts. So I'm building now. So for a little while, until I get my account built up, you can watch me on Instagram during the week. I'll be on Instagram until I can get my Facebook account up there. And I'll be doing my podcast, I do believe, is broadcasting there now as well. So also, I do have a bit. This is my bit. Okay, that is my website. So you can reach me there. You can book book to be a guest, a sponsor, or you might want to sponsor an episode. It's just all up to you. So you can always, because I'm always looking for people to advertise, and I'm looking for sponsors, and I do have some commercial slots as well, and guest slots. You might want to be a guest on my show. I love having guests and interviewing guests because on my show. So I also have a email that you can reach me at, and that is at the bottom. But you can also reach me at CTR Media Network as well. So this is my CTR Media Network website, and this here lists my pricing. Okay, so either one of those you can always go to and ask questions, as well as my email. Now, before I forget, I do want to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Not only am I trying to rebuild my Facebook, but I'm also trying to build my YouTube. So that's my YouTube channel down there. And you can also, this is also streaming to my YouTube channel. So that is about all I want to convey to you all this evening about the housekeeping. But I do want to go back and kind of tell you what we've been doing since the beginning of the year. And then we're going to take a commercial, and then we're going to delve right into mastering the growth and effective strategies for building skills and forming new habits. Is there a skill that you want to do? Is it a new skill that you want to do? And I don't mean it doesn't have to necessarily be an educational skill, like you trying to study something or something like that. It could be a hobby or something. And we're also going to talk about forming new habits. So if you want to uh, develop a new skill, you're going to have to develop some new habits as well so that you can kind of incorporate that skill um, into your daily life. Okay. So let's take a brief commercial break, and then I will be right back and we'll delve right into those strategies.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Okay, we are back, and I am Anna. I am a retired school teacher, and welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and a podcast. And so, like I said, we started at the beginning of the year. And most people set their goals and everything at the beginning of the year. And so we're at the mid-year. So personal development, this was a good time, I thought, to bring in personal development because we need it. Everybody needs it. So the first thing that I did this month, and it might go over into the next month, I don't know. There's some other topics and things that I really do want to kind of delve into, and I'm trying to reach out to some people to get them to see if they can come on and speak on it as well. But we started, like I said, we started with reflecting and reviewing what we had set up, whatever goal or whatever resolution or whatever objectives that you have that you place down for yourself. Everybody's objectives and goals and things are different. And but you can look at your own goals and reflect and review. And then the next week, I kind of got into people were asking me, well, how do you get started into looking at personal development? And I always tell them that personal development is something that I became very much acquainted with as I got older. I did not have that personal development when I was younger. And so to me, I think I need to um, spread it because we need to teach our children personal development as well. So it shouldn't just be adults. Like I learned it as an adult. Children need to learn it too. Okay. So I'm very much an advocate of children. I'm when I say I'm a retired school teacher, I am a retired school teacher, but I was an early childhood teacher. So the babies and everything from the babies on up, they're very, very important to me. And so the second time I gave books. And so you can go on YouTube and you can look and see. I gave about a list of maybe 20 or so books under different genres. Okay. So, because just like I told you in the beginning, the physical, the emotional, I tried to find books and stuff like that. So I gave one or two in each one of those genres. It's not all the books because, and even though these were books that I researched and they said that these books were like the top. I will be tell you personally, honestly, I had not read most of those books. Some of them I had, and like I said, I read them in adult. So last week I did meditation because I didn't really know A lot. Well, I did know somewhat. I knew it somewhat, and most of us do. We know about yoga. We know about Pilates. We know about deep breathing exercises and stuff like that. But what I found out when I was doing the research that there is lots and lots of ways to meditate. And so that one is also available on YouTube as well. So if you want to go and review on those. But tonight, we're going to talk about skill building and hobbies, mastering the growth, effective strategies for building skills and forming new habits. All right, this is my PowerPoint. And so we're going to just delve right on into it because the first thing, this I'm going to talk about skill building first. And then after I talk about skill building, I'm going to talk a little bit about learning new habits. And I hope this is going to be helpful to someone. Um, and like I said, you can pass these things on to your children as well. So the first thing in building is, and I know you might not be able to see it, but these have little arrows going to it, and it comes down to this. But the first thing is to identify the skill you want to develop. Remember, I just asked you previously, did you have a skill? Or was it something new that you wanted to do, learn how to do? Well, like I said, I'm a cake instructor. So they asked me at church, some of them want to learn decorating skills. And so they have already identified the skill that they want to develop. Now, the second part, it comes in when it's self assessment. So what they got to look at is they got to, or you too, if you got a goal or a skill, is what are your strengths in that skill and what are your weaknesses? Okay, where do you need? What are the areas that you need to um, improve on? Okay, and then once you have set that up, excuse me, once you have set that up, you can look at that and then guess what you can do? You can set clear goals. And all clear goals is it defines a specific skill that you want to acquire and understand why that skill is important to you. Because if it's not important to you, then you don't want to learn it. Okay. The motivation to obtain a new skill should be there, and you should know why that skill is important to you. All right, let's move on. Ta-da. So we're still talking about skill building. So after you have acquired your goal, um, then you want to create a plan. And I know some of this might be sounding familiar, but all of this deals with, really planning your life and getting it together. So you want to create a learning plan for that goal or what you want to do. Now, if I use the cake decorating as an example of my church members wanting to learn, then I could say that their learning plan would be to take some classes to learn about decorative um, baking or using certain tips, decorating tips. And then they would create a learning plan for that. They would take classes, they would practice, okay? So the next thing after that is you want to do a structure approach. So you want to break it down. Are you going to do it all at once? No. You should try whatever goal you have. You want to break it down into skills, into smaller, manageable tasks of subtitles. Okay. Because let me tell you, even if your goal was to be a millionaire, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight, but you're going to take little steps along the way. Okay. Little steps along the way. There are going to be some things that you do that eventually you're going to reach that goal if you don't give up. Because I'm going to talk about that as well. So, and then you want to look at your resources. Identify your resources, such as books, online courses, workshops, or mentors. You know, you can learn a lot from other people. Being a mentor to someone. I always believe that in any organization, there should be mentors because you just don't know from day to day that person might not be there the next day. And it's just, it's life. Um, and, you know, I'm going to give you an example of that. You know, there was a death in my family, and the person was, we had the funeral, and um, the person was supposed to be cremated, and they could not do it because they couldn't get a death certificate. And what happened was the person who issues the death certificate had passed, and they didn't have anyone in place. And so then they had to train someone and then install them. So the person that died was just sitting there on ice. So it's very important, okay, sometimes that you have mentors and things, and you have a approach for it. All right, let's move on because I think I spent enough time on that. Okay, we're still in skill building. Okay, so the next thing is you're gonna practice. You heard me say that. So the people who are taking the cake decorating class, they're gonna take the tips and they're gonna practice those things. Deliberate practice. Engage in focus practice with the intention of improving. And I don't care what you say, when you practice, you improve. And I always use the example of a baby in this situation. Because when babies come here, they cannot walk. But if you have the opportunity to watch a baby, that baby goes through different stages. They practice. It all start. I'm gonna tell you, it all really starts when they start looking at their feet and be wondering what it is. Then they're realizing that they have body parts that move. Eventually, they look at other people, they see people standing upright, and they look at themselves and they practice. They pull themselves up, they bump up and down, they try to move, they crawl. This is a process, but it's practice. They're engaged in focused practice with the intention of improving. And eventually, guess what? They walk. So, and what else are they doing? They're being consistent. Consistency, I'm going to tell you right now, is the key. So, you want to make practice a regular part of your routine. And sometimes I'm going to talk about also when you slack off because you're human. So, you know, but when you slack off, you just got to remember to just pick yourself right on back up and get back on that track. So, with that being said, we are going to take a brief commercial, and I'll be right back. And we're going to talk about seeking feedback.
Does this resonate with you? Has a company ripped you off in the past? SettleShark is changing how consumers get money back from companies. SettleShark assists consumers during the entire process, from beginning to end. Our process is simple, convenient, affordable, and powerful. You're in control. We are here to help you. Contact us today at www.settleshark.com or call 1-888-704-0708.
All right, we are back. And we are talking about skill building and what we need to do to go about building different skills. And so I wanted to uh, kind of talk about the next area, which is seeking feedback. Feedback from, it can be from numerous people or numerous ways. So, constructive criticism. You want to get feedback from your mentors, your peers, or experts to understand your process and the area for improvement. So, I'm assuming with the people who are trying to learn how to decorate with the tips, the feedback that I would give them, they would ask me, am I doing it right? Am I holding my hand right? I'm giving them, and I would answer them, and I'm giving them constructive criticism. I'm not, bringing them down or anything, just trying to perfect or giving them construct, because that's what they want. That's why they're taking the class. Seriously. They taking the class to learn. They want to develop a new skill. And so if you want to develop a new skill, you have to ask questions. And that's the downfall to me of like the channels that give you instructions and stuff like you're not able to. I'm like a hands-on person. I gotta have that. I got to talk. I got to do that. So that's just me though. Some people, they're different. They're different. And then you want to adjust accordingly. So you want to use that feedback to make necessary adjustments to your learning approach. So when I'm giving them, the instructions and everything, and they're asking me questions, and I give them that thing, they're going to adjust their movement and everything accordingly. And that's what that means when you say adjusting accordingly. And then the next thing that you want to do is you want to track. Find some way to track your progress. You can keep your progress. And then, let me tell you this too before I get into reflections. Um, I'm looking down there to see how the computer did the reflections, but um, you want to set milestones. Okay, so like I'm going back to the millionaire now. So the person that wants to be the millionaire, he sets those small steps along the way. Okay, so those small steps that he's taking are called milestones. And so when he takes those steps, okay, eventually down the road, he's going to get to become a millionaire. Okay, and you can use um, a musician, uh, a person that sings. They start out very slow. They take little steps as they go, and eventually, sometimes some of them become millionaires. So it's all in a process, and it's all in being consistent. Okay, and then what you need to do is reflect. I'm going back to reflection. Regularly reflect on what you have learned and how far you have come. Because I have noticed that sometimes people start feeling defeated or they get depressed because they think that they should be further than where they are. And so you need to look at where you start and where you are now. And you know that there's some progress. I use my weight as that. You know, um, I had a few little health issues, but I gained some weight. I had lost a lot of weight. I lost about 40 pounds. And basically, I gained maybe 20, 25 of it back. And it has been a struggle for me to to lose it. Right now, I'm about 15 pounds away. And but I know I've come a long way because with my, the health issues and stuff, it caused my weight, to go up and down. So I just have to look at it. Don't be defeated about it. You just have to look at it as how far you have come and what you have accomplished within that time period. All right, let's move on. We're still in skill building. So I know you heard me say this. Stay motivated. Celebrate. Celebrate all your achievements. Recognize and celebrate your progress and accomplishment. Don't be afraid to brag. Don't be afraid to brag. Don't be afraid to boost yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Because 9 times out of 10. Now, with the weight thing, when I lost it, instead of people saying positive things, they would say, ooh, girl, you're getting too skinny. Little negative things. But really and truly, I knew I was not because I always said that I was obese. I used to be underweight. Then, after I had the baby and all that stuff, you become, women gain weight. So that middle age crisis and stuff like that. So I try to watch what I eat and all those things. I try to do the things that I'm telling you all to do. I don't want you to think that I'm doing something and that I'm telling you to do something and I'm not doing it. And I'm going to tell you, it is a true struggle. It is a struggle. So I just, want you to know that it's not an easy thing. Accomplishing your goals and having the time to reflect and all that, it is not easy. It's none of it is easy. But let's move on. Ooh, let's take a commercial break now. And when we come back, we're going to start on learning new habits.
Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
Well, we're back, and you're watching and listening to the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, Sweet Blessings. And I am streamed on all of the platforms on the bottom except for Facebook. I mentioned to everyone that my Facebook page was hacked, and so therefore I had to start over with my Facebook account, and I don't have enough followers as of yet to go live, but I'm on all of the others. And so feel free to listen to me in the radio or on Roku. I am part of the CTI Media Network, which I'm very proud of, and I told you that before. All right, so let's go on. We're moving into learning new habits. Now we have looked at the skill and all of those things, and so now we're trying to acquire this skill. So we need to set clear and specific goals. Okay. You want to define your habit and you want to clearly define the new habit you want to establish. So no matter what you do, you got to set a goal. And sometimes subconsciously, you're setting that goal, even though you don't know that you're setting the goal. So I always, and I've talked to this before about SMART goals. And to me, this is what we need to teach our children is to set SMART goals. SMART goals are specific. They ensure that your goals are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and it's time bound. So you're going to set all of those things up when you use SMART goals. Now, I have, if you want to know a little bit more about that, I did talk about SMART goals in one of my um, st- streams that I did. So if you want to, you can always go to YouTube and, excuse me, you can always go to YouTube and look at some of the previous videos or streams that I have done. So we're doing learning new habits, and you can't start big. You must start small. Starting small is where it's at. You want to do micro habits. Begin with small, manageable changes that are easy to encounter into your daily routine. Remember, I told you that. So with the people at the church wanting to learn how to decorate with tips or anything, different types of tips. So we have that sandwich. I don't know who that says hello, and hello to you too. Um, so if you can comment on here and I will highlight it. But you want to start with small, manageable changes that are easy to encounter into your daily routine. And it should be a gradual progression, gradually increasing the complexity of or duration of the habit. So I'm back to the millionaire. I'm back to the millionaire now. My example is with the millionaire. So when he starts, he didn't have no money. Okay, but he took those micro steps and kept taking those micro steps until he reached the end. It was a gradual progression when he became that millionaire. So it doesn't happen overnight, but it comes if you wait and if you're consistent, you can do it. And the people with the cake, the more they practice, the more they did all of these things, they're putting these things into their life, you know. And when they have guests over, they want to prepare dessert, they know how to decorate it as well. And they might make birthday cakes and everything for their families or individuals as well. So that is a gradual, and the more they do it, the more they will perfect that skill. Okay, just wanted to, uh, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about building skills and learning new habits. All righty, so the next thing that you want to do is to create a routine. Now, my routine, I'm going to use myself this time, y'all, is exercising. Okay. I want to get into exercising, but I've had such a hard time getting back in it because once I had those health issues. We have, Lily says, hi, hello, how are you? Once I got into, I tried to start back. I'm still exercising, y'all, but I, I'm not, I was talking about you earlier about not being defeated. It takes time because, during COVID, I kind of got out of it. And so I thought I could just pop back into it, but it's not that easy. And so I have been trying to be consistent with it, doing something at least 3 to 4 times a week. I find something to do. And it's hard because, I've had work done in the house and the furniture's not all back and all that stuff. So, And I'm going to talk about that because there's obstacles that get in your way, you know? And so we must learn how to overcome those obstacles. So make sure you create a routine. So my routine is to do it 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes I make three, sometimes I make four, but have a consistent schedule. Establish a consistent time and place for practicing the new habit. Now, I found with myself that exercising in the morning is best for me. If I exercise in the evening, then I'm wired and I don't want to go to sleep. Exercising in the morning gives me that energy, but that's me. You have to you have to establish your time. That's my time. And then you want to use trigger clues. And by trigger clues, I mean like after you brush your teeth to remind you to perform your habit. So I get up in the morning. If I don't, most of the time I don't have any place to go. I'm up early though. But I get up and I'll do my little exercise on the days that I'm going to do that exercise. And then I have the rest of the day to do whatever else I need, whatever else I need to do. So, just keep those type of things in mind when you're developing or creating your routine. So, the next thing that you want to do is to use positive reinforcement. Don't be negative. It's enough negativity out here in the world. You could at least be positive to yourself. So use positive reinforcement. Reward yourself. Reward yourself for sticking to your habit. There's nothing wrong with that. Now I gave up. Um, Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you 2 instances, and I gave them up for Lent. The one year I gave up Pepsi, and I love Pepsi, and but I gave it up. But when it was over, I rewarded myself with a Pepsi, and it wasn't that exciting anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to think of the other example. I might think of it later. It's just slipped my mind, but that is just one of the examples. Uh, and then sometimes when I lose the weight, I'll reward myself. I reach a milestone, and then I might indulge in a treat. You know. So, but I try not to even do that because sometimes when I indulge in the treat, I want another treat after that. Then I got to be manipulating my meals and so that it could rectify all that I have, eaten. But, like I said, it is basically life. So you reward yourself for sticking to your habit. And then positive feedback. Give yourself positive feedback and encouragement. Don't be defeated or negative towards yourself. And like I said at the very beginning, there's enough negativity in this world where we hear it every day. And so we do not have to be negative toward ourselves. Find something or some way that you can be positive in your everyday, in anything that you do, especially in your habit. You've been working all hard. Don't mind. Oh, you know what? When I did my exercising and I finally was able to, that we have an indoor track in my community. And I had a hard time going around the lap the first time that I went. In fact, I just did that lap and I left because my legs, my legs and everything was, it was not, I was not capable, but I've been consistent, y'all. And so I've gotten up to 4 or 5 laps now going around. So that's a half a mile. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get, because I used to do in an hour, I could do 3 or 4, sometimes 5 miles. It's really the steps that I'm really concentrating on. So I need to get back and get a bit more active. And so, but when I give myself a pat on the back for just doing that, because some people are not even able to do that. So it's a blessing in itself. It really is. So where are we? Positive I gotta look at my notes. Oh, it's time for a commercial, y'all. Let us go over here and have see excuse me. See this commercial. I'm losing my voice. So while I'm on here, I will get some water. All righty, we are back. And this is Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and podcast. And we're talking about building skills and learning new habits for personal development. Because this is like a little series on personal development. Let me move on. Okay. We're still on learning new habits. So now this one here, we want to track our habits. So you want to track it. You be a habit tracker. Use a habit tracker or journal to monitor your progress. I use a planner. I use a planner to monitor mine. And I do daily check-ins as well. And you should too. But you can get a little book and a little book or something and just jot down uh whatever you whatever you're doing. And then you want to stay accountable. How do you stay accountable? You're going to find a friend or a mentor to hold you accountable. Now, my girlfriend, I'm so old, I guess I got so many examples I could give you. But I have a girlfriend who wanted to do a challenge. And the challenge was a no salt, um, no sugar, and I believe it was no meat. Okay, it was a vegan challenge, and I was her accountability partner. Even though I don't want to be vegan, but I did participate and I helped her because she asked me to. But I did some things myself, and that might be why I reached another plateau or another milestone in my weight because I cut out beef. I didn't eat beef for a while. And so after that, very seldom, I still eat beef, but not often. So that might have been the other thing that I wanted to tell you. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Okay, and then have a public commitment. You know what I'm saying? Share your goal with others to increase accountability. Share it because what you see, it might encourage someone else to take those same steps that you took. So it's okay to share. Some people want to hold everything in, but we can't hold everything in because that is how we learn. If you hold everything in, we'll never learn. And I'm a firm believer in paying it forward, you know. And that's one of the main reasons why I have this podcast to make people more aware of their surroundings and things that is happening within. And sometimes we just get caught up in a loophole. Okay, let's go on. Here's the one. Learning new habits, overcoming obstacles, identifying barriers, recognizing potential obstacles that might hinder your progress because they're there. It's not going to be no smooth sailing. You're going to have up, down, up, straight, up. It's going to be all kind of ways. So you need to plan for strategies, plan for challenges because they're going to be there. You want to develop strategies to overcome these obstacles because they're going to be there. Okay. Well, let's see what's next. Long-term perspective. Understand that building new habits takes time and persistence. Forgive setbacks. Be kind to yourself. If you slip up, and just get up and get back on track. That's what you got to do. That's where we fail. It's when we don't get up and get back on track. That is where we fail. So that's what we got to do. That's all you got to do is just get back up. And then combining skill building habits and formation. Remember, that's what our primary goal was. We want to be able to take that new skill that we learned and put it in our daily routine. We want it to become a habit. So you want to integrate the learning into your daily routine, just like I said. Make skill building a habitual part of your daily life. Seriously. Continuous improvement. Adopt a mindset of continuous learning and improvement, always seeking to refine your skills and habits. And I'm going to tell you right now, you never get too old to learn. And I try to learn something every day. I try to learn something. Okay, I'm going to take another commercial, then I'm going to come back and I am going to summarize and wish you a good evening. Oh, sorry. Okay, here we go.
Oh my goodness, the mailman came. I hope my sweet little thing cookie's in here. I just hope it's in here. Let me see. Let me open this up. That's it. That's it. Sweet little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh, I'ma have me a ball now. Let me just get this right here. Little thing cookie. That sweet little thing cookie. Oh yeah. I finally got my cookies. This sweet little thing cookies. Oh yeah.
Oh Lord, that's my favorite commercial. Y'all love that commercial. Y'all have to try some of Sweet Listine's cookies. All right. I just want to say thank you for attending. And I want you to realize that skill building and learning new habits are essential components of personal development and personal and professional growth. Also, by approaching skill building and habit formation, I can't even say this word, methodological, I think that's right, and persistently, you can achieve significant personal and professional growth. So I hope that in some kind of way that this podcast has inspired you to learn a new skill. Okay, I hope that it has encouraged you, and I hope that it has empowered you to live a healthier lifestyle. And so, as I leave my program this evening, I always leave with the 3 L's. And so, I want you to live your life to the fullest. Laugh. Make sure you have some type of laughter, because laughter is good for the soul. And the last thing is to love. Love everybody. The Bible says we should. But the most important person that you need to love is yourself. So make sure that you do that. You have a great evening, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.